start off just by saying that I'm graduating in 2 months from high school. I'm 18. And it's funny because when you start meeting people or you see relatives and things, they say like, oh, you know, like it's so different from when you started. You're going to college and it's changed so much. Like, what's so different? And I'm like, well, you know, I thought I'd graduate high school with like all my organs. I didn't really know I'd colon by 2012. But it's actually a lot better than having my colon because my colon sucked. And that's just basically it. It sucks. But a general overview of what I went through. Back in around February, March, I had colitis for about 4 years, and it was pretty mild, but as it went on and on through the years, I started having to cut out more foods and watching myself more, and it just got a lot worse until around the middle of March, the middle of February, sorry. I had a really bad flare-up, landed me in the hospital, and I thought, I'd never been in the hospital for this. I thought it was just like a dehydration. They'd hook me up for a day, I'd be fine. And I remember laughing at the nurse when she said, oh, it's this much for 3 nights. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'll be here like overnight and then I'll go back home and go on. But I ended up staying over for 5 weeks. I had tried Remicade twice and it actually didn't. It made me worse, which is kind of odd because everyone says it's so great. And I was really excited and I thought it might make me like turn the corner, but it unfortunately didn't. And I had to consider surgery. And I ended up having the J-pouch surgery the end of March. I had a 3-stage surgery because by that time I was just really weak. I had lost a bunch of weight. I was on colon rest, so I hadn't eaten for about 3 weeks. Like not even pure liquids, like nothing. I had my first surgery like March 23rd, I think it was, where usually during the first one they take out your colon and they construct the bag at the same time, but mine they just took out the colon because I really needed to rest, and I had an ostomy bag for about 5 months. I had my second surgery around June, which is when they kept the bag, constructed the J-pouch and let it heal, and then around August I had everything reversed, everything completely patched up, and now I've only got like something that looks like a bullet scar in my side, which is kind of cool. And I show it off to people like, look what happened, and then like, and then I have to go explain it, which is kind of annoying, but it's because it wants to sound cooler, and it's really not as cool as it sounds. It's actually, I call it an intimate disease for, you don't want to talk about it that much. You really don't. You try to keep it very vague because it's not the most spectacular thing to mention to people, not like your friends when you're a teenager and people's parents. It's easier to talk to, but it's really not that fun to discuss with people. But you do have to discuss it and make it as, you kind of have to dress it up as much as you want to, but in the end, it's really a disease that affects a lot of people. It affects you personally. It really hits you hard. Like I do theater. I had to drop out from everything for 2 years. I couldn't do anything. I was so out of it, but just recently I was in a production of Cats, which, if you know theater, like that is the dance show. And I was nervous, and at the time I had to get iron infusions because I was still pretty recovering from surgery, but I did it and I went through with it. And since the surgery, my life has been like, I don't remember feeling this good. I think I'm the best I've ever been in my entire life, which is really weird thinking that after you get an organ removed that your life has like improved dramatically, but it really has. And I'd rather surgery not be the cure for this, which is why we raise money for this organization and for these diseases. But for now, I guess it has to do, and it does change lives. And I know Jacob just had his, and I didn't even recognize him because I'd met him a few months ago, and he had the steroids and everything, and I was like, same here, I didn't even recognize him. It was amazing. So props to you, and Noah's getting his too, and he just went out. But I just can't wait for more people to get better and know that they can get better and you can feel great and you can go dress up in a cat suit and dance around a stage and be completely fine and not have to worry about anything because there's no going to the bathroom when you're dressed like a cat. But I didn't have to, which was really nice. But in the end, it does get better, it can get better, and that's the goal that we're trying to do here. So that's a story. Thanks, Jay. Woo!